welcome. This is a little bit of a ASMR news video. The main topic of this news story is, can Dmitri bring himself back out of his self-imposed retirement in the ASMR world? Dmitri has gone missing for a certain amount of time, where he has been engaged in other life type activities that people often engage in, and he has been looking for that spark that ignites the creativity juices that create ASMR videos. And that would bring us to the next part of this story. Is ASMR seems to have changed a lot in the recent time, where the content is getting, let's say, unique in its approach, and it's interesting in that I like all the different approaches people are having to create ASMR content. But I also think it's important that we remember the beginnings of ASMR and kind of where it started. And that will kind of lead us to a part of this sort of news that I'm bringing to you, in that we'll get to that at the end, is that ASMR videos are they're sort of like stretching to like very new realms of uniqueness. And, you know, I definitely have been creating some unique videos in the past. But if we go back to kind of like the beginning and where ASMR was and where it began, you know, where it is now, it's in front of the camera. It's in front of a computer, a mobile phone, through a set of headphones. But in the past, it was about a person-to-person experience, or watching a person doing something, or it's kind of like a little bit more personal in that it involves kind of like two people to sort of like create this sort of union of kind of unseen, how can we say it? It's like an unseen connection between the two people that allows for that sensation that is ASMR to kind of build and grow in someone, and to experience it. It would be really great if we could kind of help share people like ways that they can try and experience it. I've always really wanted to have, you know, I should try and do it, is like a group of people that get together that can share some of these experiences together. But it's kind of socially embarrassing a little bit to try and do this, or just to begin it, you know what I mean? But I know there's so many people out there that enjoy the connection of connecting with people, not in front of computers, even though we can connect. But, you know, being able to openly talk about ASMR, other subjects in general, and not feel that people are going to judge what it is that we think, or that we believe, or that we feel, or what we experience. It would be really nice if there would be an environment that we didn't feel the fear to openly discuss, you know, the main subject, which is ASMR, but just to be able to connect and and enjoy people's company in a universal loving situation where we don't try and one-up each other by trying to say something degrading, because I have noticed that certain cultures in certain areas around the world have developed to the point where it's socially acceptable to say things that degrade people. Now, in a male standpoint, we might make fun of each other, and a lot of the time it doesn't impact that much. But it feels that there's a lot of situations where people, kids, teenagers and younger kids see their peers acting in a way and saying certain words which, to be honest, are degrading. And it filters down to younger kids and younger kids and younger kids, to the point now where almost any age is you will see it almost any age of the words that are degrading, making fun, actions that people use. And it would be nice if there was an environment, a place where people wouldn't feel that fear, where we could get back to connecting with people and experiencing those personal connections, like friendship, personal connections, where you may experience the ASMR sensation that we all love so much. The videos today, I reckon they're pretty amazing. They're very, very different. But I see that it's kind of like the Instagram world where, you're trying to create something that people click on. But, we all kind of do it. But it seems it's very, very competitive now. There's a lot of people making ASMR content. And in one sense, the news around the world has been talking about it a lot. Recently, there was a story in Australia where I was contacted, and they, asked me some questions. And I think there was a suggestion that they might send a crew out for an interview. But, in certain situations in media, they tend to, again, this links back to what I was just saying, is make fun of it, laugh during the segment. And, I guess it's kind of degrading, where now it's socially acceptable to degrade people. And, it's come over time, and it's built up over time. And it depends on a lot of our experiences and the people around us. And this leads down a subject road which I'd love to talk about a lot more, where people it feels that the world itself is going down a pathway which hasn't really been thought of very well, and there's no plan for the future of the world. It seems our future plans are put in the hands of politicians in multiple year scenarios, and then the next politician comes along that has scenarios, and then the next politician. The whole subject of politics, I think, has run its course, and I think that maybe something different should come up in the world that is not politics. But politics get people quite passionate on their beliefs and ideas and things like that. But it just seems that the whole population of the world is going down a pathway which doesn't seem bright. It seems to be getting darker. Our health, something that ASMR touches on quite a lot, is the mental health. And mental health is a very, very vague word. Okay, we deal with feelings and emotions, and these are extremely important to us. They have a huge effect. If you're watching this video, you're probably kind of lucky compared to a lot of people in the world, and the the equality of the life for a lot of people around the world is very, very different. First world, second world, third world countries. And it would be nice to be able to sit down with, I guess, some type of group of people that could think about ideas for the future of the world, because there's so many minds out there, but they're very disjointed. And if we could sort of bring them together, can you imagine the brain power that the whole planet's population of people would have? If there was a problem, it'd be like swatting flies. Any problem would be very simple to fix. Obviously, people are going to have different opinions, but there'd have to be a process and a way to come to some form of a conclusion to solve a lot of the problems we have around the world. Yeah. So, anyway, so I'd like to thank you all for sticking around on my channel. I have plans again to continue making videos, so you should start seeing a regular flow of videos from me. I'd like to congratulate a certain member of the ASMR community that is expecting a baby soon. Oh my goodness, you're going to have fun with that one. And on a sad note, I'd like to remember someone who, for me, is probably one of the greatest 4 founding members of the ASMR online community. Goes beyond anyone that creates ASMR videos, in my view. And that's Baba, the world's most famous head massager in India. Unfortunately, last year he passed away, which made me feel quite sad, and to think how precious life is. So, our lives are so fragile that we should be working together to try and make the world just more suitable for people in this modern age. It feels that the world has just changed far too quickly for our minds to be able to deal with it, and hence people having mental health. Like when I was a young fella, mental health was seen as, I guess, someone that would be, this is like, I'm just trying to put like a quote or an example of someone that might be sort of schizophrenic, where, or multiple personalities on like a very obvious scale. And it's been around for a long time. But I think now the mental health encompasses a huge range of groups of people, and I believe it's the pressure that the world puts on us socially, economically, and through our mind of wanting things. We're very easily manipulated by images and triggering desires in us to want things. Like, you see a toy in the street and you go, I'd like one of those. And, that triggers a desire that when you're at the shop to buy one. And then there's it's just goes on and on and on. But, it's the pressure that people are under in the world by so many different scenarios, and that's where the ASMR really helps. I do honestly believe, or I have the belief, that the theory of ASMR is the nervous system in your body, and when you're stressed in any stressful situation, your body is triggering the fight or flight nervous system, the sympathetic nervous system. And basically, it fills your body with all sorts of stuff that you don't need. And in a normal world, that wouldn't be activated that much in our body. And I believe that the ASMR activates the opposite part of your nervous system, the parasympathetic nervous system, which flushes out any bad stuff that your brain puts in your body from being under stressful situations. So I believe it naturally flushes out the things that are floating around your body that put you under stress, and it relieves the stress in a biological way is the theory. But that's not my theory. That is another person's theory, so I can't claim that. But it seems to make sense to me in that when you're experiencing it, it feels like something's just being released into your brain and that goes down your body, and it feels great. And I think that's why the rise of ASMR has been so prominent over the last few years, is that people are in these situations and, someone says you should try ASMR, the media says something, and it's brought a lot of people into the community, where once the community was quite small and it felt quite special. The community now has encompassed like a huge group of people, still mostly positive, which has been good. And there's always going to be elements, but it's trying to stay positive, trying to help people. ASMR is really, really good in that even as strange or as weird that we are, it tries to create that personal connection, like what I was talking about at the start, where people they're real people. You create connections with people, and that's one of the whole points of YouTube that's been really good, is that I can YouTube to you, and you can connect and we can connect. Like, for example, I watch many YouTube channels, and I kind of enjoy listening to their life at that point in time and what they're doing and the subjects that they're talking about. So that's my rant, and if you made it this far, congratulations, and thank you, and I will see you very soon.